We're lucky to live in an era where the video recording equipment is so cheap. Back in the 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s, the only people that could have been broadcasting anything on television were professionals hired by big media companies. It was basically impossible for the average person to reach a global audience. Now we have the technology at our fingertips, and not only do we have all the technology needed, it's also become very cheap compared to, let's say, just 10 years ago, when we had the technology, but it was much more expensive. We have a better camera in our phone than broadcasting companies had on national television 30 years ago at a fraction of the price. Actually, the camera doesn't cost us anything because it's in our phone, which we already have. All we need to start producing content is a simple ring light, a microphone, and I would say a teleprompter if you really want to go all in, which you could get for a few $100s. We could basically put professional quality content out there for a few $100s, and we could create it in an unlimited way. Now, it took me years, but I finally realized that everyone should create some sort of content given how cheap and how accessible it is. No one has an excuse not to do this. Everybody should be sharing some sort of message with the world. You're wasting one of the biggest opportunities in your lifetime. I'm gonna say something that you might not like, but it's the truth. If you're not creating content in 2026, well, you're out of excuses and you're the only person to blame. Think about this for a second. Back in the 80s and the 90s, even the early 2000s, if you wanted to be seen or heard by the world, you needed one thing: permission. Permission from a TV station, permission from a producer, permission from a massive company. And those companies, they had millions of dollars in equipment. Cameras the size of your head, studios, lighting rigs, entire teams. And you had nothing. You could have been one of the smartest guys in the room, have the best message in the world. Nobody would have ever heard you. Now, fast forward to today. You're holding something in your hands right now. This is more powerful than what national television was using 30 years ago. Your phone. The camera in your phone is better than what was used to broadcast to millions of people back then. And it didn't cost you $50,000. It's already in your pocket. Think about that. Today you could reach the entire world without asking anyone for permission. No gatekeepers, no producers, no network executives, just you and your message via your phone. And here's the crazy part. Even 10 years ago, yeah, the technology existed, but it was more expensive. Today, it's dirt cheap. A ring light, $30. A microphone, $50. A prompter, a couple hundred. That's it. For a few $100s, you could produce content that looks more professional than what we were used to watching on national television growing up. Wrap your head around that. So when someone says, I don't have the equipment, I don't have the money, I'm not ready yet, that's not the truth. That's fear. And I know that because I was that guy for years. I had the ideas, I had the tools, I had everything I needed, and I still didn't do it. Why? Because I was scared of what people would think, scared of being judged, scared of putting myself out there, scared of not being able to do professional videos. But here's what I realized. The opportunity we have right now, it has never existed in human history before. Never. This is the first time ever where a regular person with no connection, no money, no audience can speak and be heard by millions. So here's the truth. If you have something to say, if you've lived something, if you have learned anything at all, you should be creating content. Not because you might make money, not because you might get views, not for the fame, but simply because you can. And for the first time in history, that's enough. So I'll say it again, there are no more excuses. And if you're like me and you've been waiting, this is the video that hopefully convinces you. This is your sign. Press record. Start.